Hey, in this video I will show you how to create your own private self-hosted Discord music bot in about 10 minutes. What you need is a Discord server where you have admin permissions on, then literally any kind of server, like a cheap VPS, 1 core, 512 megabytes of RAM should be enough, a Raspberry Pi, any kind of VM. If you already have like a game server or web server or whatever, you could easily just run this on the same machine. It doesn't require a lot and it's barely noticeable even if it's in use. Um, it runs on pretty much anything that can run Java, and you need root access on that machine. You technically don't need it, but it's a lot more convenient. Um, and I'm using Ubuntu server in this tutorial, but the process should be exactly the same on any Debian-based system, or even on like in another Linux distros. It should be extremely similar, besides maybe like the package manager or whatever. So let's go. So the first thing we want to do is head over to the Discord developer portal. We just go to discord.com/developers. On this website, we go to the top right and click New Application, and then just give it a name. We just call this musicbot. We check this box and hit Create. We can add a little description or a profile picture. I will skip this for now. The next thing is we click on Bot, and this bot might be here, but you might actually have to create the bot first. You just hit a button. I don't know, they change this up every once in a while. What is interesting for us is this token. We want to reset this token and then copy this token. And then we want to store this for later. We will need this later on in the tutorial. It's important that you never give away this token to anyone. You can see mine now. I will just reset it after the video was uploaded. So, alright. We need to change a couple of settings. We want to set the bot to private or not public. This is kind of important. I wouldn't recommend running this bot as a public bot. If you uncheck this or turn this off, only you as the bot owner can add it to servers. And then we need message content intent. Yes, you can ignore this note here. This is this only applies to bots that are on more than 100 servers. Since this is a private bot, this is unlikely to happen. Alright, next we click on this little menu icon and then go to URL generator. We select the scope bot, and then we will pick the following permissions. We wanna, what do we want? We want to send messages, embed links, attach files, add reactions. Then we need to be able to connect and speak. I don't know about voice activity. You can just select this. It will spit out a URL in the end. We will just copy that and then just open it in a browser. So this is where we invite the bot to our server. I am human, indeed. Alright, if we head over to Discord now, our bot just joined our server. It's offline for now. We will change that later. Now we will go to the Discord settings, to the user settings, go to advanced. Where is it? Here. Make sure this developer mode is on, and then we will just go to a message. We just type something, And then right click your name, and then copy user ID. We will save that too. We will need that later too. Next up, we will connect to our server. If you use Windows, you could use PuTTY, or on Mac or Linux, you can just use whatever terminal emulator you're using. SSH, and then your username, and the IP address or host name. I can remember my IP address. I believe it's that. Yeah. Alright, the first thing is we just want to update the server real quick. And just for security reasons. And it's all up to date. That's good. If it's not all up to date, you can just run sudo apt upgrade. Alright. We need to first install Java and wget. Sudo apt install, I believe it's default JRE. Oh, if I could type. And then we need wget. Alright. Now we will create a user that runs the server. That's just a standard practice. It has some security benefits. It's also easier to keep things organized if you run multiple services on the same machine. So we just add a user and we call that user musicbot. We pick a secure password, and then we can leave all this blank. If you wanted to, you could call the user whatever you wanted to, but then you would need to edit some config files a little bit later on in the video, so I would recommend you just use the name musicbot. It's easier that way. We will now switch to the user account we just created. Switch user musicbot, enter the password, and then we will go to our home directory, which is, yeah, alright, nothing really in here. And then we will download the bot itself. For that we will go to the GitHub repository, and we hit on releases on the right, and then we'll just copy the link of the last release, the jar file. What is going on with my browser? Copy link, go back to your terminal, and then paste it. Alright, you can see we have the .jar file now. Now we need to create a config file real quick. You can do this by typing nano and then config.txt. I provided an example config file. You can just use that and then just edit 2 or 3 lines. I will post that in the description. So we will just copy the entire file and paste that in here. And then let's see, what do we need to edit? Like, you can really edit all of this if you wanted to. If you just want to get it running quick, all these values that I have in this file should be fine. This is where we need to edit the bot token. We saved that earlier. We copy that and paste it here. And then this is where we put the user ID. Oh, All right. Paste this. Then this is maybe like a good setting to change maybe. I have this set to an exclamation point as the prefix. This is whatever you need to type before your actual command to control the bot. Just put this to whatever you feel like would be convenient. Like if you have another bot that already uses that, whatever you put in there, that would suck. So, alright, but I believe the rest is, you could set a game that it plays. It's like for the status in Discord, whatever. You can just leave all this at their default value. So just hit Control X and then save buffer, yes, and hit enter. So we have the config file and then we have the .jar file in here. So next up we want to create a system service. So the bot always starts up with the server itself, so should the server or the bot ever crash or lose connection or whatever, you don't have to manually boot it up again. We will just exit out of this session, so we have our normal account on the server again, and then we will create a file with sudo nano and we will put that into etc systemd system, and then we can call this musicbot.servie. I provide a service file for that too. We copy this and then paste this. So if you created a user with a different name on your server, you have to edit this in here. You need to change the home directory. If you follow this tutorial and there is a new version released, you also need to edit the version number in here, just here. And yeah, then if you choose to use a different username, you have to edit this to. Alright, but the rest should be fine. So we hit Control X, say yes, and then hit enter. So the next thing is we need to enable the system service we just created. We can do this by typing sudo systemctl enable musicbot.servie, and then we need to start it too. So sudo systemctl start and musicbot.servie. If we head over to Discord now, you can see that the musicbot is online now, so it's running. So what we have to do now is just connect to whatever voice channel. Alright, and then just type play, and you could just type in a song or whatever, or just paste a link to YouTube or SoundCloud or whatever. And then the musicbot will just join you and we'll start playing music. Hopefully. Alright, you can also just type help. You will get a DM that contains all the commands and settings and shit. If you have any questions, feel free to just write a comment and whatever. See you.